Hey guys, Ron here, and once again I invited 9 other Poketubers and we created our own Fakemon. Each individual YouTuber gave me an attribute for the Pokemon, like its type, stats, environment, color scheme, etc., without knowing the other attributes that were chosen. So for example, one Poketuber can give me the type combination of like fire or water, while another YouTuber can give me the ability Leaf Guard, which at first glance makes no sense. But it was my job to take all these random attributes and make them work in a new Pokemon. Did I manage to pull it off? Well, I already did twice. This is part 3. Check out the first 2 episodes of this series if you haven't, because they're literally the best received videos in my entire channel. So I wanted to do this with a whole new group of Poketubers to finally prove that the last 2 times weren't a fluke. That's why once again in this video you'll see the various traits that each Poketuber gave me, and then their genuine reaction to the 2 Pokemon I made using their set of 2 attributes. If you're new here, I make tons of videos where I create new Fakemon, a lot of times with fun challenges and twists like turning cartoon characters into Pokemon or video game characters into Pokemon. So make sure to subscribe to check them out. Now let's begin with the first Fakemon we all made. Now in order to understand how we made this Fakemon, here's a quick rundown of all the 9 attributes my friends provided. They are heights, stats, body shape, ability, power, type, color, personality, and environment. This is basically the order in which all the Poketubers responded. After I told each Poketuber which attribute they were in charge of, Loxton was the first to respond with the height for our first Pokemon.
I chose a height of 3'11" because it's like my favorite size for a Pokemon. Not huge, you can still look down on it and like pet it and it's right there, but it's not tiny. It's a fun size.
It kinda is. It's just average Pokemon size, so he's kinda helping me out. Next was Flygon HG.
Alright, so I chose these stats for this Pokemon, and I wanted like a bulky spread that was really slow with high special attack, so that's what I went for. I thought it would make for a cool design.
I mean, these are very respectable stats for the average fully evolved Pokemon. All of them are good or even great, except for the fine attack and terrible speed. But that gives it character. It'll be specially offensive and defensive, but will possibly stand its ground. I'm thinking of something like a cannon or a railgun. Hopefully Johnstone steers us in a specific direction with a body shape.
So because I was given the attribute of doing a body type, there was only one thing that was in my mind: birds. I wanted to see an absolutely ripped bird, the strongest bird that you've ever seen, and maybe with like an attribute of like a unique tail or something like that.
Okay, nothing wrong here. I mean, a buff, fully evolved bird would have those stats and that height. Maybe it shoots beams from its mouth, so it has a unique tail that it sticks into the ground to stabilize it. It's a stationary Pokemon. Hopefully Munching Orange gives us an ability that a bird can have.
So I chose the ability Parental Bond because, to be honest, I've seen a couple of these videos and I thought it would be a bit more of a challenge and also maybe annoy Ron a little bit.
It doesn't. Birds are famous for carrying their young, so how about we make a strong rooster Pokemon with its little chick that fights alongside it? Hopefully Leonhart's power will give this Pokemon some kind of concept though.
For power, I chose Mind Control, specifically because I'm a huge fan of Psychic Energy, Sabrina, and of course, Kadabra. Welcome back, Kadabra.
Yeah, welcome back, woohoo! But this is perfect. How about this rooster uses mind control to control its flock of children? But the type actually makes or breaks the concept, so I'm praying that Jaywitz gives us the Psychic type.
For type, this was an easy one for me. I went with Psychic Electric. It's my favorite 2 types. I've always loved it since we saw that combination on the Zap theme deck for the Pokemon TCG. And we've only ever had one Pokemon with this combination with Electric primary, and that was Alolan Raichu. I wanted something on the other side, focusing maybe a little bit more on the Psychic side of things, or really just seeing any other Pokemon with this typing.
Everything is working out so well, and now I have an actual concept with the electric typing thing. So it's a railgun rooster with a chicken comb on its head that will shoot out powerful lasers or electric beams, followed by its chicks who will be flying around it, shooting tiny beams like a drone. The unique tail that Johnstone wants me to give our chicken will be inspired by a cockatrice. This mythological dragon chicken, even if the color palette is a mishmash of different colors, it would look psychedelic and make sense for the Psychic type. So what colors did Bloody give me?
I picked trans colors and my favorite color, so obviously white, light pink, light blue, and lavender. Because I want to plug trans rights in your video, True Green. Get dunked on.
Ah, she got me. Or did she? The joke's on her, because I gave her this attribute because I knew she would pick those colors, and I just wanted to predict at least one attribute. But while lavender at first thought seems perfect for the Psychic type, all the other colors I'm working with are light and not saturated, so there won't be enough contrast, and that may be a problem since all the colors will blend together. We'll make it work. Next is Numnexus with the personality.
The personality I chose for this Pokemon is that it's incredibly intelligent, but also very dim-witted. It can kind of bring everyone together and make everyone in the room feel at home, but at the same time as well, too, it can also be a little scary. So in a way, I kind of chose the personality based on the GOAT himself, Monkey D. Luffy.
I'm gonna interpret that as charming and confident, dim-witted yet emotionally intelligent, since Luffy is incredibly dumb, but he's pretty good at understanding people's true emotions, kinda. Basically bird-brained, but empathetic. Now it's time for Liam to take us home with the environment. A farm would be ideal.
For the environment for this Pokemon, I chose the deepest, darkest depths of the sewers below the largest built-up cities in the region, because I love things that are associated kind of like with toxic waste and those kind of gloopy sewage monsters. You've got like Ninja Turtle inspirations possibly. You could have something like Leela's parents from Futurama. Anything that's been flushed down a toilet. I can imagine we'll get something really, really cool from the sewers.
That's the opposite of a farm. It defends the sewers. I can't make it oozing based on all the other attributes, but I can make it look somewhat mechanical with robot glowing eyes and a gun aesthetic. Maybe it's primarily white since it's never in the sun, and the eyes will be used to the darkness, so they'll glow and be very bright. So I want this rooster to have big pecs to defend, big wings because it's buff, and a strong-looking legs to stand its ground. A hollow chicken comb on the head in the shape of a lightning bolt, but the spikes also look like the sights on top of a gun. The unique tail will be inspired by a cockatrice's tail, but will obviously be in the shape of a lightning bolt. It sticks it into the ground to stabilize itself. The eyes will look like a meter that glow as it charges its laser, kind of like Toucanon's beak. That's why it's slow. It has to charge to attack. Some kind of meters on the neck to make it look electronic, but also more things to glow since it's also a psychic type. Refining the shapes before adding feather patterns that look like both psychic waves, but also electrical waves and even the water in the sewers. But in the end, the colors were the biggest problem. It's a very extreme design, so you'd want contrast in the colors, but they're a little too bright and similar to each other. Like pink is close to purple, which is close to blue, and light blue is close to white. None of the colors are complementary, so that's why I eventually decided that the lavender wouldn't be heavily featured. Instead, the tongue will be lavender to make it look more monstrous. And I invoke the rule I set for myself where, while I have to use the color I was given, I could change the values of them to make them lighter or darker. That very much helped. Now it's time for the baby. I'll make it an unnamed Prevo instead of a simple baby like Kangaskhan in its mother's pouch. It's basically a chick with less developed traits of its father. It stays on the back of its parent but jumps and hovers above him when attacking with a dual laser. But most importantly, I want to make its eyes look like they're possessed. Not necessarily that it has no free will, because the parent doesn't make its chick do things that they don't want to, but rather, the parent is able to send these chicks around the sewers and see what they see. They act like remote drones. That's why the eyes are so bright and mechanical looking. But before I reveal the final design, let's check out the other Poketubers' reactions to the attributes that make up the Fakemon.
Okay, let's check out the attributes here. Loxton chose a height of 3'11", which is pretty similar to Nexus's height, so that was a good call.
Bit on the short side, but so am I.
Ooh, okay. Is that close to Poliwhirl's height? That's what I care about.
I don't think this thing's gonna blow anything out of the water, but hey, compact things can be fairly strong.
I feel like this is kind of Pokemon size. Smaller than the trainer, but not way small.
Oh, dude, Jay Witz is in here? Hell yeah.
Wait, this stat pool is insane. What? Okay, it's got 100 base HP. This guy is tanky. 65 attack is not doing any damage.
But it's one of those Pokemon where the stats are in the right place, right? Of course, Flygon did it.
115 special. Oh, it's a bulky special attacker.
Not a VGC guy, but even I see some green numbers. There's some good things happening here.
Like, I would play this Mon in a Trick Room team. It could be Psychic. Wow.
They think like a severely gutted Blood Moon Ursaluna. This is absolutely tarnished.
That's my early guess. If it ends up as a turtle, I'm gonna be very proud.
Body shape is buff bird with a unique okay.
Oh, I shouldn't have started guessing that it was a turtle.
Above bird, now I say. We talk about like the freaking now I say guy.
But it is really interesting how that's going to work, because in my head, I think of physically strong, and the attack stat is nothing close to the special attack stat, so this could be a pretty unique outcome.
How can a bird be slow?
I'm thinking immediately like Swellow with the big pecs. I guess a lot of bird Pokemon have that, but that could totally work.
For ability, we've got Parental Bond, mate.
Cool, Mega Kangaskhan's ability. It's really cool to like see that on a different Pokemon.
Parental bond on a special attacker is nuts. That is nuts, dude. What?
I feel like that changes everything.
So I would imagine that maybe the bird is over its head, kind of like Banjo and Kazooie, how they had Banjo followed by Kazooie. That would be neat.
Wait, the unique tail could be like a bowl on the end of the tail that it holds like its chicks in.
But usually you don't see like a bird holding another bird.
Power of mind control? Okay, that also works surprisingly well, because like the mom or the kid could control the parent. That'd be a nice switcheroo.
Having the power of mind control does actually work with the special attack stat, so maybe it's strong in the mind.
What? Yo, we got Mega Mind in this bitch.
Okay, this just looks like we were coordinating. That's perfect for Psychic.
Dunno how electric's gonna work so much in the sewers. I may have messed this up.
Wait, that's a really cute type. So it could be like a piece of machinery. No, it's a bird. A robot bird! But it has a child. A robot bird with an extension!
Probably a lightning bolt tail.
I mean, that kind of sucks that you're weak to knockoff. And because you don't have a levitate, you're also weak to ground.
Color, pastel blue, pink, white, and lavender.
Trans rights and lavender.
Fitting of Psychic, I guess.
Its personality is confident and charming, dim-witted, yet emotionally intelligent.
You're basically describing the perfect streamer.
What is emotionally intelligent? I'm pissed off at you, but in a very smart way.
It's got the emotional intelligence because it's working with a baby. I love this.
Like if you're charming and confident, you can manipulate people, and that could be the mind control kind of element to it. But obviously it's, you know, psychic type.
Its environment is the deep, dark sewers.
Okay.
Which is the most anti-bird location, so I am very curious to see what you came up with.
Okay, that just totally threw everything I was thinking out the window. How the frick are you gonna do a bird in the sewers other than like a nasty mangled pigeon or something?
Creepy psychic bird.
This is the 5th Ninja Turtle, but it's a bird. That's an electric type. That's also psychic. It has mind control. Bro, Shredder would be Dunskies, bro.
Whoopsie! Oh, was that me? Oh, but I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
It's a bird, but it's in a sewer. It's psychic, but it's dumb. It's tiny, but it's buff. How are you gonna do this?
I mean, that's a challenge, I guess.
Now check out Psychic, the Head Blast Pokemon, a psychic electric type from Psychic, Chick, and Sidekick. This confident Pokemon stands its ground as it shoots a powerful laser from the hollow comb cannon on his head. Psychic uses telepathy to control its loyal chicks in battle. However, it will take the brunt of any attack for its children. Psychic defend the vast sewer mazes they call home, spreading their chicks around to remotely monitor their territory.
I just opened up how the mod actually looks like. This thing looks crazy. Wait, this thing looks nuts. Wait, and the shiny's tough.
Ooh! Oh! Mate, the shiny's really good as well.
Psychic.
Oh, it's cute. Yeah, it's got the blue lightning tail. I like that's smart. The wobbly do that like birds have.
Okay, cool. This is awesome.
Yo! Psychic! Category Head Blast. Look at that!
That is, wow, you nailed it. That is perfect.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking. We got the big bird and the baby bird. Dude, the shiny looks so dope. Oh, the little eye on the baby bird. That's so cute. There's so much to look at.
What? That's so cute! Oh my god! Wait, you did such a good job!
It does still look like it should be faster than it is.
Dude, the lightning bolt tail goes tough, man.
Look at that. It's got the unique tail in like a bolt shape. There's almost like a bolt on the head. Looks brainy, bird-brained, but not like the way that we think of when we think of bird brain.
I like the horn, or like the hole in the front of the lightning bolt wobbler thing. Looks kind of like another eye, maybe for shooting out mind control beams.
Category is Head Blast. Oh, so maybe it shoots psychic waves out of its head like a cannon.
You really did great with all the colors. Colors work out perfectly.
I don't personally think the colors really fit with it, at least just personally to me.
Wait, Ron, how short is you, bruh? 3'11", I think it's like 80% of your body height.
The baby doesn't count, my guy.
Yeah, he's not massive, but you know, he's got lovely stats. He's gorgeous though, Ron. Oh, I don't get how this will live in the sewers.
It's like a bird Kangaskhan, but way cuter and better, and I love it so much.
Dude, that baby's cute. Gucci. Wait, the baby's adorable. Why do I kind of like the baby a little more?
That shiny is great too. And look at the little chick. A little cheaper.
but you nailed the parental bond aspect of it. I mean, that looks exactly like it would be even like a lower stage. So this could be like a first stage Pokemon. That would be the basic, but that is exactly what a parental bond Psychic would look like.
Psychic is also very clever. Good job, Ron. That's it's like psychic, but chick. I get it.
Okay, at first I was thinking it's chick. It's a psychic chick, so side chick. But I just got it's also a sidekick.
We got to read the Pokedex entry. You guys know I'm all about Dex entry.
This confident Pokemon stands its ground as it shoots a powerful laser from the hollow comb cannon on its head.
Oh, it's a comb. That's what they're called.
That's a cannon?
Wait, the hollow? Oh, I didn't even see the hollow part. See, I thought that it actually physically shot off its like little arrowhead thing, kind of like a cactus, and shoots the needles away and they grow back.
Psychic uses telepathy to control its loyal chicks in battle. I love the loyal chicks. That's great.
It's like the ultimate soccer mom, but it's a bird.
Yo, it's a manipulator. This bird is toxic. Don't date this bird.
However, it will take the brunt of any attacks for its children. Good mom. Good mom.
Good.
That's cool. I love the lore of that. The idea that it's using its mind control, not necessarily on its opponents, but on its own children.
Okay, so it's much, much less creepy than I was personally going for.
Psychic defend the vast sewer mazes they call home, spreading their chicks around to remotely monitor their territory.
Oh, okay. When I started to read that sentence, initially I thought that was going to be the cop-out. Like, you'd basically just gone, by the way, it lives in the sewers. But you've actually gone and explained that it sends its chicks out effectively throughout the maze of the sewers so it can monitor everything that's going on. That's really cool. Okay, yeah.
You know what? I guess the baby version of it does kind of look like a drone. Like the eyeball makes it look like it's like mechanical.
So they get their little scouts, but whenever the little scouts are in danger, they go vroom at the speed of 35 and protect them.
I think Psychic does a really good job of capturing the stat total. This is what I was looking for. He's clearly bulky. He looks kind of fast, but I think speed is weird in Pokemon anyways, so I would believe this has 35 speed. And yeah, I really like that with a Psychic Electric type, it's just definitely a special attacker. Can't really get close and physical with those little wings. So yeah, this is awesome. Really liked how this turned out.
This is why we need more Psychic Electric in the world. Look at all the cool things that can happen.
It does have the mind control aspect that I was looking for, the psychic ability. That being said, it's not using its mind control to go after the other Pokemon or opponent. It's for its own advantage of controlling its kids, mind you if you agree with that or not.
Wow, yeah, that is that is exactly what we were looking for. Crazy.
Dang, this is going to be really hard to top. It's beautiful.
Boy, this was very successful. I mean, I've been wanting to do like a parental bond type of Pokemon for a long time, and I'm glad that it turned out exactly like this. Usually in these kind of challenges, I create Pokemon that I can't really use in a normal Pokedex, but no, this is a real Pokemon. You could barely tell that it was randomly generated. So for Fakemon number 2, I asked our Poketubers to come up with completely different attributes. How about Loxton starts it off once again with the Fakemon's power?
So this one's fun. I chose the power of a non-Newtonian body because it was the very first thing I thought of that wasn't like typical, and that there's no Pokemon off the top of my head that has that sort of ability. If you don't know, a non-Newtonian liquid is like oobleck. It's the stuff that you stick your little finger in it and it's liquid, it's gooey and soft. But if you punch it or hit it with a hammer or something, it's hard, it defends itself.
Yeah, leave it to Loxton to come up with a unique power. To be fair, we should have a Pokemon like that. I'm thinking something blobby with high defense, but what environment did Flygon HG give us?
So I thought it would be funny if I made the environment deep, deep underwater, because unless the person who chooses the type chose water, it would make for a really unique design. Like maybe they have to wear a helmet or something to actually live underwater. Thought it would be funny. Let's hope it was, and it wasn't too much of a pain for Ron to do.
Okay, even if it were like fire type, it won't have a helmet. It's still gonna be something pretty fluid, and there are tons of soft animals deep underwater. I mean, a blobfish kind of makes sense at the moment. Hopefully Johnstone doesn't troll us.
So I was tasked with coming up with the stats for this one, and I tried to make it as difficult as humanly possible. I really wanted to make it kind of a subpar-esque Pokemon, rounding out the base stat total to 350, which is unbelievably subpar.
I mean, it's not like I know what this Pokemon looks like yet, so it's not too late to make it a pre-evolved form.
You guys might not know this, but I'm a bit of a weeb, and for this Pokemon's personality, I was channeling Mob Psycho, one of my favorite animes, specifically the main character Mob, who's kind of the shy, anxious type that eventually boils and boils until he explodes. Emotionally, of course.
Yo, Mob Psycho 100 is one of my favorite anime too, but a shy Pokemon that snaps makes total sense for a weak Pokemon that lives in the deep. It even represents the non-Newtonian body as a Pokemon that is fluid, but becomes solid when attacked. Let's hope Leonhardt doesn't give us saturated pinks and reds for this Pokemon's color, cause those can't be seen deep underwater.
For the color of this Pokemon, I chose blue, gold, black, and white, specifically because blue's my favorite color. I like the color gold, and honestly, a golden, black, and white with blue thrown in there just seems so legendary and majestic to me.
Honestly, black and blue is perfect for something deep underwater, and perhaps it's a bioluminescent, so yellow and white could be this Pokemon's lights. Now it's all up to J-Wits to give this Pokemon a body that gives fluidity.
For this mon, I just knew that I wanted multiple bodies and for it to not be duplicate bodies like an Execute. I wanted to see different pieces come together that are asymmetrical. I thought that would be a fun challenge.
Okay, I don't know if that's terrible for something blobby. And plenty of underwater organisms can reproduce by budding. Perhaps it's a sponge, but that depends on the size.
And I made it 9'3" because I think it would be really funny if the prompt was like a snail, but you have to make it giant, or just like something really little, like a tiny little rat, or I don't know, amoeba, but it's a big amoeba.
I mean, it could be a giant amoeba at this point, but have you ever seen a pre-evolved Pokemon this big? Right now I'm thinking eel. Perhaps the ability that Numb Nexus will give us will help with the low stats, and let this Pokemon at least feel like a fully evolved Pokemon.
I gave it Neuroforce. I had to give it Neuroforce. Neuroforce is an incredible ability. It just powers up your super effective moves, so we're juiced off that.
I mean, this is exactly the kind of ability we needed. Ultra Necrozma's ability. It just basically gives the Pokemon an extra boost in power, so I can safely make it one of those Pokemon that are underwhelming without any evolutionary line, like Tropius. But god, is it kinda tough coming up with ideas when the type combination is last. We need a water type, but what are the odds?
So for this Pokemon's type, I chose Fire and Electric because I thought we don't have a lot of Fire Electric Pokemon. I can only think of Rotom Heat. Did I go Fire Electric? Did I go Electric Fire? Because it is important. I don't know if that bothers you, but it bothers me. Like, yeah, I went Fire Electric. So I expect that to be reflected.
Okay, I got it. Underwater volcanic vents. I'm gonna make this Pokemon that represents that. In order to make it electric, it'll have a lure like an anglerfish. And that's how we connect it to the whole multiple bodies thing. Some anglerfish species have this extreme sexual dimorphism where the tiny male attaches itself to the way bigger female, like forever, and just endlessly reproduces. That's what we're gonna do. A long anglerfish with lava patterns and her tiny mate attached to her fin. And Neuroforce makes sense for a Pokemon that emits light, like Necrozma. So its size will correspond with its length, a long, winding body, and one fin that is actually its tiny husband. She'll have these tough lip chompers that bite prey, but it also makes her look older and bigger like a whale. I like this protruding chin. Looks more brutal and hydrodynamic, almost like a submarine. Whatever trait she has, the male also has, but a less developed version of. The multiple bright lures on her head will look like flowing hair. Now it's time to give her a magma body. She's basically sapping all the energy from her mates, so she ends up with a lot of energy and brain power, which explains her Neuroforce ability. One of the lava dots under the lip looks like a beauty mark. I want to make it look like her body is made of magma, and some lava is seeping through the cracks. That's why a black adjacent body makes so much sense, with golden lava. The white makeup accents actually work perfectly. Gives it personality, but still seems like the natural coloration of such a fish. Let's see the reactions to the attributes again.
Power, we've got non-Newtonian body.
Yes. Oh my. I'm so happy.
Everyone's gonna be Googling what the frick this means.
So I have absolutely no idea what that is, so I'm gonna find out right now.
That white stuff that you make out of like, I get it. Okay.
Its body behaves like custard.
Hey, I went to college, so I actually knew this, okay?
Sort of like a Ditto-ish amoeba type of body.
Environment exclusively deep underwater. That fits perfectly, I think.
That's the scariest part of any world.
It's just gonna be a piece of water that's thicker than the rest.
That could work. You can have like a weird flubbery thing underwater.
Like a liquid-ish Stunfisk that just rests on the bottom of the ocean floor?
Like an anglerfish, they're like, they go quite deep in the ocean, right?
Deep sea fish need to have an intense system to survive that much pressure. You know, blobfish, like they're deep sea creatures, and the only reason they look like that is because we brought them up and they're suffering. But then, like, if you applied Pokemon magic, now it's gooey and squishy, but then you punch it because it punches like pressure, like a non-Newtonian fluid. That works out perfectly.
Because I feel like under the water, deep under the water, it would be like super solid because of the water pressure. But then when it's out of water, it basically just turn to goo and be a liquid until something hits it.
Stats. Oh, these are terrible stats.
Ooh, these are some pretty poo-poo stats.
Johnstone, who hurt you, dude?
Not gonna have the highest BST, and that's okay. Not everything has to be OP.
This thing can't be fully evolved. It can't. This stat distribution, respectfully, is awful.
Wow, that's almost cruel.
A medium mon, a mid-sized mon, maybe not fully evolved mon. Lil guy.
Yeah, it's clearly a pre-evolution, and the fact that I made a 9'3" is gonna mean weird things for the rest of its family.
Personality. Shy but will snap.
Kind of like Stunfisk. Did you make Stunfisk, Ron? Please tell me you made Stunfisk.
I feel like that's reasonable for exclusively deep underwater, just vibing and hiding, but if you step on it, it goes.
So whatever, I guess, type of attacks are just gonna get compounded until it snaps and just obliterates everything around it.
I almost get Bruxish vibes, but then again, Bruxish has been done.
Color is blue, gold, black, and white. I like that.
Very regal.
So listen, even if this thing has an awful, like, just stats, right? It's not that strong. It's gonna look great.
Body shape, multiple bodies / heads. Oh, Jaywit, speaking my language.
Jaywitz, what are you doing?
Bro, what about a look at 9 earthworms?
Oddly, that still fits, because I'm imagining like amoebas that split and separate into different bodies, but they're all the same brain kind of thing.
You could have one body be the hard one and one be the soft one.
Yo, F Pokemon, stop with the VGC. Put this boy on the Lakers. What? 9'3".
That's a tall boy.
So maybe not height, but like long, because fish Pokemon tend to be measured by length.
Its ability is Neuroforce, which I have to Google because I cannot remember what that does. Neuroforce, Cerebi. Oh, do you know what? There are companies called Neuroforce. This hasn't helped. Right, hang on, Ron.
I don't know abilities. I'm not a smart person.
Ultra Necrozma, maybe?
It does kind of fit in, again, with the exclusively deep underwater stuff, because Ultra Necrozma was like the embodiment of light. And I like that its ability is now on something that lives down in the deep darkness below. That's kind of poetic, actually. I quite like that.
Deep underwater and fire electric. I can't wait to see how this works out.
What kind of fire type lives underwater?
Oh my god, it's gonna be magma.
And that's where its body comes in, because rubber's not conductive to electricity, so I'm not making any sense now.
Deep sea fish have a lot of bioluminescence. Maybe like an anglerfish that's really long.
I'm imagining a Barboach that's 9'3".
If all we have is Heat Rotom, then yeah, let's cook something up. Let's do it.
Here is Spousespark, the fusion Pokemon, a fire electric type Pokemon from Spouse and Spark. The shy and tiny male Spousespark is fused at the fin to its giant protective counterpart, who saps the energy from her mate. This loving couple lives in the deepest trenches, consuming the chemicals released from underwater volcanic vents, which powers up the bright lure on their head. Their body is incredibly tender, but will instantly harden when hit.
Whoa! Alright! Yo!
Oh, wait, I nailed this. It is kind of wormy. Oh, there's a baby next to it like Mantine.
Okay, I see. Okay, this makes a lot more sense, because in my head, this is way better than what was in my head.
Oh man. It's got the angler bobbies and it's long like an eel, but I love the whale mouth.
Oh, dude, it's a whale. Wait, is it a whale? I don't know anymore, but it does have that kind of underwater magma vibe that I was thinking.
This is ridiculously cool. This is so freaking sick. I love it.
Spousespark. And look, it's not a turtle. It's a giant type of whale.
Oh, I was so right. It's like an underwater eel. That's so cool.
Oh, let's go. Oh, it's like a real anglerfish.
Oh, it's like the female anglerfish like absorb the male ones. Smart. Very smart.
The husband fuses to them and just basically is a freeloader for the rest of his life.
One female can have like multiple males fused to it.
I did not know that, and I am equally grossed out as I thought I would be.
That works so well.
Spouse spark. Oh, like a spouse. It's got a spouse and it sparks. The name I'm putting together, guys, is crazy.
That is through and through a perfect Fakemon.
I had said it to be a pretty majestic Pokemon. Now, it's not the most, like, out there, but it is a fairly taking up a lot of surface area Pokemon.
I really like this one. This one, I know I picked the type on the last one, and it turned out good, but this looks like a real Mon.
This is something Game Freak would definitely do.
But man, it's really, really, really pretty.
Yeah, this is awesome, and it is huge. It's 9 foot long. Oh, that's a gorgeous shiny too.
Oh, the eye changes color too. I like that a lot.
I do wish the shiny was a little bit more different than what it is, but it does look absolutely gorgeous still.
Those stats are terrible, and I feel like I did such a great, awful job at doing that.
It's such a wimpy Mon, but it's got a really good ability.
This thing is kind of fast. Looking at its design, a 65 looks fast for this Mon, dude.
Yeah, we don't all kiss your behind, Ron. Some of us are honest.
I like that a lot. It's also like the volcanic vents at the bottom of the ocean, and that's where the fire is coming from. It's like all the cracks and lava coming up from the deep ocean, and then electric probably comes out of the zippy zap dangly boobs.
I like the eyelash, because that's the kind of bashful, fluttering eyelash kind of thing, isn't it?
The lips. Ooh, girl. Okay.
I love the way they're looking at each other.
Gosh, if this isn't like every cosplay gamer girl who goes to a convention and her boyfriend who holds her stuff.
We had like a fake anglerfish Pokemon with Lantern where it's all like pleasant. This is embodying the real scary spirit of real anglerfish.
That's sick, and that's what I was thinking of too, the anglerfish, to give it that electric vibe.
All right, let's look at the Pokedex entry, my favorite part.
The shy and tiny male Spousespark is fused at the fin to its giant protective counterpart, who saps the energy from her mate.
Hey, I need that in my life. I'm trying to grow like this. I need that.
This loving couple lives in the deepest trenches, consuming the chemicals released from the underwater volcanic vents, which powers up the bright lure on their head.
I could see myself spending time in the trenches shiny hunting for this because that is beautiful.
Their body is incredibly tender, but will instantly harden when hit.
I love that. I love that so much. And I'm really glad that I could make it so difficult for you.
Absolutely smashed it with this video, with this art and drawing. Oh man.
Overall, this is just such a cool project.
Honestly, big 10 out of 10 on that one.
We did it once again, and thanks to the wonderful Poketubers that stepped up to bat. And I hope you guys enjoyed this enough to want a part 4. Leave a like and subscribe if you do. Maybe even share this with any Poketuber you want to be in the series. Check out my other Fakemon creation videos and check the description for the links for these lovely Poketubers, and consider becoming a patron or clicking the join button to get cool rewards, like seeing my videos days early and a huge discount on the t-shirts I made for you guys. Follow me on Twitter where I post sneak peeks and final art for these Pokemon too. Bye!